Why is Russia immune to the problems that the West, the so-called Western world, are encountering? That's what we're going to talk about today. So I've come for a walk at the back of these houses. I wanted to walk down the main road, but it's just too much traffic and it's too loud, so I thought I'd go for a walk down here and we can discuss what it is that's preventing Russia from going the same way as the rest of the Western world. So look here, it basically says no parking. We're trying to stop people from parking, it says. And the kids have written that, I guess, because some idiot probably parked his car on the footpath. So the first reason that Russia is immune to the problems facing Western countries is because Russia looks out for Russia. Russian government looks out for Russia, Russia's interests and the interests of the Russian people. Not many people can say that about their governments. Now, they do that in spite of sanctions, in spite of the supposed hardships that could bring about to the people and to the country, and they do that because they care about their interests. And so it might go against the interests of other countries, but they don't care. They care about themselves, and therefore they do what's best for them. And that is the first reason why Russia is immune to problems that the Western nations are facing. Look up here, you can see the flag. I wish I could untangle it, but it's too high up for me to untangle. So I can see behind me a couple of babushkas, and they are kind of looking at me with suspicious eyes. They're going to come and say something to me. I feel it, I can feel it coming. They've now turned their back on me. It's weird, look. They saw me coming and they turned around the other way to look the other way. It's a bit of a weird one, and I'm going to tell you something about that in a second as well. And so this is actually point number 2. Russian people look out for Russia. They look out for their country. It's completely normal for me to be walking down the street, filming, making a video, and a couple of grandmas will come up to me and say, "What are you doing? Who are you? Why are you here? What right do you have to be here? Show us your documents. We're going to call the police." It is a wonderful life. Точно.
Yes, of course.
And then you get people like this guy, who is just a really nice guy, who heard me speak in English and wanted to add something to the video, and he knew it's a wonderful life. And so you get all types of people in Russia, but it's great that the people are monitoring, you know, the suspicious ones like me. I'm a suspicious character walking down the street making videos in English, and so the Russian people are looking out for its country. Now, I'm not saying that in the UK and in America and in other countries people don't look out, but if they do look out, it can turn into a scandal. Whereas the Russian people, well, they have the right, they're the citizens, they're looking out for the well-being of their country, they're looking out for the well-being to make sure that no one's breaking the rules, so that no foreigners are coming here and doing what they want or doing something that could be wrong. And that's really good that the Russian people look after their country and do what's best for them and for their country. Look, I'm filming in this courtyard here, and then just across the road we've got some private houses. And it's interesting how in Russia we've got a mixture of kind of everything just going on. So I was actually having a conversation with a mate of mine the other day, and we both kind of agreed that Britain, for example, where I'm from, is a country that can't say no. And I wasn't really thinking about why that is. And he's somebody that's from there, and he's lived there all his life, I think, and he's moved here not long ago. And what he was telling me is that Britain, well, it kind of feels like it wants to help, you know, wants to do the right thing. And therefore it becomes almost like the person that can't say no. You know, the good guy that always says yes, 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 that wants to be seen as someone to help. But the problem with that is, it kind of started off by bending its own rules, bending its own rules, bending its own rules, and then it just keeps saying yes. And so, can we come to your country? Yes. Can we have this? Yes. We need a house. Is that okay? Yes. We don't want to live like you tell us to live. Is that okay? Yes. We don't want to learn English. Yes. We want to protest against you guys. Is that okay? Yes. And then it just ends up being a country that gets taken advantage of. Doesn't happen here. It can't happen here. The people won't let it happen. The government doesn't let it happen. It is not possible to happen here because Russia and Russian people care so much about the needs of Russia and not the needs of others. Now, it's fine. Russia does care about people coming and living in Russia, but to come and live in Russia and follow Russian traditions, live how Russian people live, follow Russian customs, Russian laws, that's completely fine. But Russia isn't going to say, yeah, come here, we'll give you everything, and of course you can hate us and we'll agree with it and we'll help you even more. That can't happen. It would never happen here. So look here, we've got a grandma sewing, and she's sewing this whole rug. It looks like a duvet cover or something. How cool is that? So look, we've got another place where they do the public hanging. It's becoming a big thing here. Obviously I'm joking, it's another one of those ski slides, look. So now I realise what's happening. I guess they want to turn this into a car park, and this is like a protest, look, and it says, no, this won't be a car park. So if you come to Russia as a foreigner, then you'll need to integrate, assimilate into society. You won't be able to just simply carry on as you were in your country. Well, I suppose in a way you could, but you do it quietly. You wouldn't march in the city centre and say you're against these customs and traditions and you want Russia to accept your customs and traditions. That could not happen. There's no way that could happen. And so foreigners that come to Russia have to assimilate into Russian society, and Russia only wants those types of foreigners. Otherwise they're just going to say, sorry, can't come here. We've got a ghost gate, very ghost looking gate. So the next reason is because we don't have woke culture. We don't have it. We have common sense. A man's a man, a woman's a woman, there's two genders. We don't have any of that stuff. The whole kind of woke way of thinking, we don't have that here. Russian life and Russian rules are based on common sense, the kind of common sense that you would have probably found in the country that you're living in perhaps the 80s and early 90s. Of course, we have political correctness, we're not racist, we're not prejudiced, we treat people with respect, and that's how it is. You're not mean to a person you don't know that person, you just treat them with respect. And that's why a lot of people say, Sam, I'm American, what would it be like for me in Russia? No one cares. Who are you as a person, right? If you're a normal person, a good person, a person who cares about himself or cares about others, that's it. You're going to be completely fine here. We don't have any of that whole wokeness. There's no reason for you to start a conversation by speaking about your different genders and stuff like that. No one cares. Just live your life, right? Just live your life, and what you do behind closed doors, in your bedroom, who you love, whatever, that is your thing. Don't promote it, don't talk about it, nobody cares at all. Just live, be happy, be a good person, and love living in a country that will like you because of it. On this area that I'm walking on now, we've got scooters flying past me every couple of seconds, we've got skateboarders, we've got cyclists, we've got those electric bikes. It's all kicking off down here. I guess it's a perfect road for people to just burn it down on. Let's walk around this corner, this scary corner, and see what's around here. Don't think it's that scary, to be honest, but there you go. So the next thing that prevents Russia from becoming like Western nations is we have Russian police, and Russian police are not scared to enforce the rules. The rules apply to anyone and everyone, And the police do not care what skin color, what religion you are. If you break the law, you pay the crime, you pay the punishment. That is how it works. There's none of that, well, I could arrest him, but then he might scream this or that and then I'll be in trouble. No, you broke the law, the policeman will do his job, you go to court, you'll pay whatever it is you're supposed to pay, whatever that punishment is for the crime. I know that this is causing a lot of people a lot of problems because people think about two-tier policing and all that kind of stuff, because people are genuinely scared to be called out, because perhaps if their arrest is considered too harsh or they use too much force or whatever it's going to be. Look, Russian police don't care about that, okay? They care about doing their job, about looking after the country and caring about the people and doing what they need to do. There isn't a second thought in the back of their mind even about, well, that person's a different religion, and if that person does this but then I arrest him and I could be in trouble because, no. Someone's done something wrong, they get in trouble. That's it. That's how it should be. That's how it always was. And that's how it is here. I love this metal here. People pay a fortune for loft type metal like this. Looks like a load of old radiators, but looks so cool. Coming back out through another courtyard. Just seen the most amazing thing. I didn't film them because the people are Muslim, they might be against it. But basically, this woman's got a pushchair, and on top of the pushchair she's got a budgie. And the budgie is just sitting there, chilling out on the pushchair. Really cool. Not going anywhere, just chilling out like you would a cat or whatever, just sitting on the pushchair. That is so cool. Check out what we've got in this tree. We've got what looks like a moose and a tiger, and is that a bear? Yeah, it is, it's a bear. So look, I've come to meet this girl, and here she is. She's looking very nice, yeah, looking like she doesn't want to be filmed. Hey, hi, hello. So we're back from the date with Dasha. We're walking around my neighborhood and I'm going to continue this video. And before you ask, yes, it was a good evening with Dasha. Going to be making some really cool videos with her. Going to be helping her out actually a little bit. She's got a English language school she teaches kids, and so she's asked me to come along and help out in some of the classes, and perhaps we'll film some of that. So anyway, the next reason why Russia is immune to the problems in the West is because of family values. Very strong family values, and it doesn't matter whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're one of the many other religions that are followed in Russia. We have family values, and all of those religions care about family values. This is a real big thing for Russia. In fact, this is almost like a buzzword of Russia now. Like in the West you have, or in the US you'd have land of the free, home of the brave. In Russia it's almost family values is the buzz phrase that they want to use, and they perhaps even take it to another level. Christian family values, because obviously Christianity is the main religion here. Now another thing that's very interesting here, and I've spoken to quite a few religious people about this, especially when I go into the churches and go and speak to the people that work in the churches, not the priests, but generally the kind of people that man the church, right, that look after it on a daily basis. And this one's interesting. The Bible and the rules of the Orthodox Church don't modernize themselves. This is something that's very interesting, because you'll notice that in the churches around the world, things that were forbidden in the past are now normal and allowed. An example of this, one example, I guess the main example that we all know about, I guess, would be like gay priests, right? Now in the past that would be something that would have been unheard of, and I'm sure if you'd spoken to people in the 60s, 70s, probably 80s, they would have said, well, no, and that's just that's ridiculous, that couldn't happen, right? That's forbidden in the Bible. But then when times change in the West, so do opinions of people, and so things that would have been forbidden in the past are now okay. Whereas in the Orthodox Bible, things that are forbidden are forbidden. It doesn't matter if culturally things have been accepted into a certain country, they suddenly start allowing things to happen, they're allowing things to be done differently. And I think this is something that perhaps keeps Russia from changing its values. It keeps those family values, whether it be Christian family values, whether it be Islamic family values, whatever religion it is, the religion and the rules and the laws of the religion stay the same. I think finally the thing that you notice in Russia is you feel and you notice progress. Progress to how the country is developing, progress as to new services, new products, new bridges, new entertainment. You feel that Russia is developing and more better things are on the way. And I think the people respect that because they see that they're paying the taxes into the country and the Russian government is doing the best for its people. And I think this is something that's protecting Russia as a country. Even when I walked past this lady with a pushchair, I turned my video off because I didn't want to disturb the child, and I said hello and she blanked me completely. Even that is good, right? Because this is a Russian woman saying, don't care about you, right? And as well as that being like, I guess it could be taken like badly and negatively, at the same time it's not. It's like, look, I'm Russian, I'm walking down the street, I don't have to say hello to you if I don't want to. You can say hello to me, but I don't care. And I think this is a very Russian thing, right? Obviously, at the same time, Russians don't really say hello to people they don't know, but in the village, typically we do. But I think this is something that's very powerful. You know, it's like, I'm Russian, you're just some stupid foreigner with a camera. I don't have time to even acknowledge you. So anyway, they are my reasons. When you're proud of the country you live in, you're proud of your government, you're proud of your customs, your resources, your people, the progress of your country, you're going to do everything you can to defend that. And you're going to do everything you can to defend against other people that want to change it. And I guess that altogether is the reason why Russia is immune to the problems that the West are encountering. See ya.